how can I say this without being too crass? Like the quest for companionship, not necessarily relationship, has been the downfall of many men. And well, the government is saying that that could cause you some trouble in a cruise port. Yeah, plus the US government is also going after Canada and Alaska Cruises and Carnival. What's going on? We got somebody over there saying they have to wear their glasses in the shower. What are you making them do? It's crazy. Cruise news and my views. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Lido, Loca. I am your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news and views for your face on a Friday the 14th. It's Pi Day, y'all. 3.14 repeating, or not repeating, but I don't know. How many numbers is Pi out to now? It doesn't matter. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope you're ready for the weekend. Cruise news story number one, scams are afoot. It's scammy time. We've got the AARP. Somebody wake up the Holland America cruisers. We're going to be talking about you guys. The AARP, I think it's probably applicable to everybody, but still, wake up. Are they in the pool with the aliens? Is this a cocoon scenario? Scams. The AARP has issued a warning saying that it is the summertime, it is cruise season, and scammers are hot on the trail of people who like to cruise during the summer and to be wary. The basic advice is the same basic advice as always. If something sounds too good to be true, then it's probably too good to be true. But they have issued some tips to follow when booking a cruise this season. AARP says, number one, beware of starting with a search engine. Scammers buy ads and use fake websites to appear at the top of the results. So make sure, if you're putting it in Google, cheap cruises, and the first one comes up, says, cheap cruise, I swear, I promise, click me. Don't click it. Only go with reputable sources and sites. That's number two, check the source. If you receive an unsolicited cruise offer, investigate the company to verify its legitimacy. Ask yourself some questions and ask them some questions and read the fine print, for goodness sakes. Number three, pay with a credit card. Credit cards offer the strongest and most immediate fraud protection. If you get scammed, like the best way, honestly, and there is a little bit of a hurdle to overcome, is to use a good travel agent, a good travel professional. And how do you find one of those and not get scammed? Because we've seen stories of people getting scammed by travel professionals that they found online. I'm going to recommend our friend Walter. That's our travel partner. He's rock solid, but you don't have to use Walter, obviously. But a good way to avoid being scammed is to use a travel professional. To go and call the cruise line yourself is another way to do it. Those people will help you. But, a lot of times there's not great travel deals out there, honestly. There are some people that can get you some onboard credit, that kind of stuff. But all these promises of free stuff on cruises, not necessarily true. So that's why, like I said, if it sounds too good to be true, it could be too good to be true. Now, I do want to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's episode, Babbel. Babbel, one of the top language learning applications in the world. One of the best things about traveling is interfacing with different people from all over the world. And that means we interface with a lot of different languages. And it's good to know more than just your language. And that's why I am thankful for Babbel. Babbel uses real world conversations to teach you new languages quickly. I've been working through Portuguese and it's very fascinating. I'm getting deeper into it. I want to show you the Babbel app. So right now I'm doing a little exercise where they're going to say a phrase and then I'm going to repeat a phrase. This is asking in Portuguese, where are you from?
De onde você é?
De onde você é? I got it right.
Eu sou português.
Eu sou português. I'm Portuguese. Lots of different learning techniques inside of Babbel. They have podcasts, visual, audio, all those kind of things. Look, we're cruisers, we're travelers, we're interactors with other people and other languages. Babbel will help you get there when it comes to language. You can try Babbel for a discounted price. Scan the QR code on the screen. Use the link in the description to save 60% off of your Babbel subscription. And I would love to know what language you're thinking about learning. Would you like to speak Portuguese with me? Leave a comment below. Thank you, Babbel, for sponsoring today's episode. Now let's talk about the other scam. It is Carnival time, especially in the very popular cruise port of Rio de Janeiro. Now I say popular cruise port and people go, well, that's not Miami. I'm like, you're right, that's not Miami. Who cruises out of Rio de Janeiro? MSC Cruise Line has a big presence down there. Silver Seas. A lot of these smaller, more luxury brands will be making stops in Rio de Janeiro, especially during Carnival time. And well, we've got the US Embassy down there saying, beware, because there is a new scam afoot in Rio, and it particularly targets frisky men. I don't know if frisky is the right term, but men looking for companionship. What happens is you'll be at the cruise port there, you'll be at the club in Rio, and you're just some dude, and a woman comes up to you and she seems interested. Maybe she brings you a drink. Maybe she eyeballs your drink. And what's happening is they're slipping stuff into the drinks, stuff that's making you, lose your consciousness and lose your faculties, and lose your, wherewithal, and all of a sudden you pass out and you wake up and you done got robbed. Your passport's gone, your money's gone, your stuff is gone, pictures of your family is gone. You know what I'm saying? Why are you talking to some lady in a club anyways? It's another one of those things, if it's too good to be true. Again, men get blinded in the quest for companionship. Somebody that should not be interested in them at all comes up to them in a club, and the person's making the move on them. Red flag should go off. But sometimes this isn't the head that we think with. So, look. U.S. Embassy is saying be careful in Rio. Not only this new scam here that targets men, but also other, regular cruise port scams. Don't wear your flashy jewelry. Protect your wallet. Protect your purse. Don't flash around a lot of cash. All the same situational awareness stuff that we talk about in all the cruise ports. But apparently in Rio during Carnival, there's also this other scam that's targeting men. Be careful out there. That's what I'm saying. Cruise news story number 2. And look, I'm definitely not trying to get political, but politics is making its way into our cruise space, and I don't like it. Dang it. But there's a trade war going on. There's, we're fighting with our good neighbor up north, Canada. We're going to slap a tariff on you. They're going to slap a tariff on us. Tariff this, tariff that. Price is going up, all that kind of stuff. Well, the latest shot to be fired in that trade war is a threat. I guess it's a threat. It's a statement by the Senator Dan Sullivan from Alaska, who is asking the Congress to get an exemption to the Jones Act and the Passenger Vessel Services Act, or even asking President Trump to write an executive order, basically cutting Canada out of the cruising to Alaska season. It's convoluted. Let's just say that. The Passenger Vessel Services Act and the Jones Act are two protectionary acts that have been in place in the U.S. since the 1800s that makes traveling, cruises particular, a bit challenging. Now, I'll give you the quick primer on it. The Jones Act deals with cargo. So if you hear Jones Act, think about cargo. Passenger Vessel Services Act deals with passengers. And the goal of both of these acts are to protect U.S. businesses. So what they were worried about in the 1800s as they were shipping products up and down the U.S. coast, or as they were ferrying people up and down the U.S. coast, they were worried that foreign entities, U.S. businesses were worried that foreign entities would come in and do that work for a cheaper price. So I can take your cargo at a cheaper price. I can take your people at a cheaper price. And so that's when these acts came into place. And the quirky part of this law affects every cruiser, because what it says is a foreign flagged vessel, if it leaves a U.S. port and wants to return to that same U.S. port or go to another U.S. port, it first has to stop in a foreign country and do some business before it can return to the U.S. For example, over on the West Coast, if a cruise ship leaves Seattle and it goes to Alaska, sometime before it gets back to Seattle, it has to stop somewhere, and traditionally that's been in Canada. Cruise tourism in Canada, certainly big business for Canada, hundreds of millions of dollars every year, and seemingly now, because of the trade war, that may be in jeopardy. I don't like the Passenger Vessel Services Act and the Jones Act. I feel like it's outdated protectionary law. I think it's probably in relation to cruising that I dislike it, because it would be nice for our cruise ships just to be able to come and go or do a cruise to nowhere. It'll be interesting to see if some exemption happens from Congress or an executive order from President Trump. But there you go. We got us a fight going on between the U.S. and Canada in a lot of ways, which is Sad. Cruise news story number three. This one's a little personal, but a big announcement coming out from Norwegian Cruise Line that they've taken ownership of their brand new cruise ship, the NCL Aqua. It's the biggest cruise ship they've ever had, 10% bigger than the last cruise ship that came online. NCL Aqua is built at the Fincantieri shipyard in Italy. I went over there. It's pretty cool. Last time I saw the Aqua, it was all steel and wire, signed my name on the bulkhead. And well, I'm going to go see it again. This time it'll be in Portugal, going to Lisbon, Portugal for a sailing sometime next week. I think we leave on the 18th and maybe the sailing's on the 20th. So congratulations, Norwegian, for getting the new ship. And I'm excited to show you guys the new ship over the next few days. Our next cruise news story has to do with the big announcement that came out of Southwest Airline over the last few days. Southwest is one of my favorite airlines to fly, primarily because of the people of size policy. And I think that policy hasn't changed, so I'm very excited about that. But a policy that did change that's affecting a lot of people and maybe affecting a lot of people's decision to use Southwest is they used to give you 2 checked bags for free, which is pretty much unheard of in the airline industry today. And well, they're not going to do it anymore. Starting on May the 28th, they're going to start charging for checked bags. They also had a great open seating policy where you could choose your seat. That's going away also. So these are some big changes coming from Southwest Airline. CEO has been all over social media, all over the TV saying, look, we got to do it. We got to do what everybody else is doing to be competitive, and we've got to, be a profitable company. The interesting thing is, will they take a hit in their customer base because of these changes? Will they offer enough value in other ways to keep people coming back? I do like flying Southwest. There's a lot of direct, routes that I can get to from Tampa, but I'm also a big Delta fan. So anyways, I just want to throw it out there in case you're traveling Southwest and you haven't flown in a while and you still have in your mind that, hey, I might not have to pay for my bags. If you're flying, over the summer, you will have to pay for your bags. So pay attention to that. Are you a Southwest fan? Will you continue to be a Southwest fan? Leave a comment below. It's a lot of cruise news so far. I still got this big Carnival story I got to share with you, but I need a break. Particularly, I need a dance break. Yeah, dance break. Get up. Get up. Okay, let's talk Carnival, and you can tell the Holland American people go back to sleep. This one's not going to apply to them because they're smart. They've already got it figured out. There's a Carnival cruise passenger complaining that the writing is too small on the shampoo and the body wash in the shower on Carnival Cruise Line. And they're upset because they have to wear their glasses to figure out which one is shampoo and which one is body wash. Could you imagine taking your time to write this out? Hey, I can't figure out what the difference between the shampoo and the body wash is. And does anybody else chuckle because they use the word douche on most of the body washes on these cruise ships? That's just me, I guess. Fortunately, the Carnival helpline in the form of brand ambassador John Heald said he'd run it up the chain. Maybe they can get that into one of those C-level meetings. Hey, sorry to interrupt. I know we're having a great discussion on how to keep our stock from tanking and how to keep a competitive edge in a very competitive cruise industry, but can we solve this problem? We got a customer over here that can't tell the difference between shampoo and body wash. I'm pretty sure it's almost the same stuff in those bottles. I think it's pretty interchangeable at this point. Is this a problem that needs to be addressed by upper management, or is this not something that needs to be addressed? Leave a comment below. Thank you so much for checking out today's episode. Thanks again, Babbel, for sponsoring today's episode. Thank you guys for making it all the way to Friday. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. It's Tony for Lido, Loca. Until the next time. We'll see you on the Lido. Bye.
Cruise news, cruise news, cruise news, it's over.